Tell us a little bit about what you kind of branched into after your master's.
After my master's, as you know, I got into the corporate setting
Hmm.
where I worked with the general public and also some special populations, but you know, basically getting people to be fit and healthy and active. A lot of goal setting, working with clients, figuring out how can they get to their goals, providing education, maybe debunking a few misinformation that they hear, because there is a
Yeah.
lot of misinformation out there when it comes to fitness and health.
Hmm.
And helping them, guide them to get from point A to point B, and being that support person for them.
Hmm. And that was probably a little bit of a learning curve because distance coaching, like not seeing people in person, it is something that's sometimes a little bit more challenging because you have to, I guess, develop a new skill set with that.
Definitely. You do have to be able to know how to build rapport over someone that's never going to meet you. That's, just a voice on the other end of the phone line.
Hmm.
Um, and then, yeah, being able to build that rapport and get them. You have to be quite clear, right, with what you're telling them. There's no maybe body
Hmm.
language that you're able to share that they can pick up on. They're not getting those cues, and yes, you don't see their cues either. You don't.
Hmm.
All you're getting is maybe like the tone of their voice, right?
Hmm.
So you do have to know how to convey information clear and concise when you're talking with someone on the phone, or if it's just even through a chat, right?
Hmm. And I think one of the things that like people could dodge your phone calls and they can't really dodge you in the gym kind of thing. So there was something where we built up in terms of a skill to get people to pick up that phone the next time we were scheduled to convene with them.
Right, what's that?
You know, I mean, I don't know. I think it's the rapport. I really do think it has to do with the rapport
Oh,
and
right.
being good at teaching and setting specific goals, things that you want to check in with next time. That way, there's a purpose for them to pick up the phone and connect with you again next time.
Totally. Like for them to pick up the phone the second time is what you're
Yes,
referring to. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, for sure. I think it does matter like what you're telling them in that first session. Are you just an exercise professional and just throwing all this information at them, or are you listening to what they're trying to tell you? Are you getting them to actually develop the goals, or are you feeding it to them? So
Hmm.
it's kind of finding that balance, and then having them something to work towards or look forward to for your next call with them. Right? You have
Hmm.
to. There has to be something to follow up on and to build off on.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think that was something that was a little bit of an adjustment, even from working with people in fitness and just studying it. It was one thing what we know what they need to be doing, what they should be doing in quotations, and just helping them to get started with something. I think there was a little bit of an adjustment with that in itself as well.
Yeah, you definitely have to find a way to get them realizing that this is what they need and not you telling them that they need it,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, and
And
there were skills that we developed to help them do that, right?
right, yeah, and a lot of time people come in and they say, I know what I need to do. And yeah, and
Hmm.
sometimes they do know exactly what they need to do, but they just don't quite know how to do it.
Hmm.
And
And that's what
yeah,
you are there for, the expert, right?
yeah, and that's what we're there supporting them, figuring out how to get to point B.
Hmm. And I always thought that we were a little bit of ahead of the curve with this stuff. I remember speaking to people like, how do you do that? Like, how do you do a session? How do you what is this? And I think now that people have gone through the pandemic and Zoom meetings and all this stuff, I think they understand it a little bit more. And it's definitely developed a little bit in popularity since we first did it.
For sure. And a lot of, you know, uh, not so positive things have come out of the pandemic, but yes, a
Hmm.
lot a lot of services now are online or are telephonic, and it wasn't always so ready available, even though we were doing it way before the pandemic. Now
Hmm.
it's like it's probably almost normal to have a session, like an audio session or a telephonic session versus going in to see someone.
Exactly. Did you have to do like video sessions in the last little while, last 20 months or so?
Yeah, so interestingly enough, I work in a rehab clinic. And because of all the restrictions that occurred, although we were able to see a lot of our clients in person, some just based on the directive that our clinic got, had to be accessed through video sessions.
Mhm.
And it was interesting. I was like, well, I already have this experience, so don't worry. I know what we're doing here. And yeah, we continued to have like physiotherapy, kinesiology, occupational therapy sessions online.
Mhm. And you were ready for that because you had the experience.
Yeah, for sure. We, as a company, we had to get together and say, okay, what exactly are we doing? And I was able to provide a bit of a framework. And then, of course, every discipline that works at our clinic, we did have to kind of figure out how we're going to deliver certain treatment via video. Because if you think about it, like a physiotherapist, a lot of their treatment is hands-on.